Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video where today we return with round 17 of the F1 Manager 24 My Team Career Mode. Yes, we're back this weekend here for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix in Baku. Yes, I apologise. I had originally planned on trying to get this video out at the end of last week, but I actually went away over the weekend. Luckily, I was still able to watch the real GP, so I guess that means we can talk about that as the race weekend goes on. But yeah, we've got some exciting things though as we head here to Baku. Of course, if you missed out on the last video from Monza, I'll be honest, yeah, that one was a bit of a stinker for us. The car we have learned is pretty terrible in a straight line. So yeah, we've got to be a bit more careful with that in the near future. And Baku again might be another circuit that we struggle at just a little bit more there. Now, annoyingly, Carlo Cristofori has been just snatched from us, poached by VCarb. So he's going to be going to, yeah, VCarb ready at the end of the year. So we need to try and gain someone else back for the drivers as well. Then, but of course, yeah, with Liam Lawson still probably going to leave the team come the end of the year. You know, we can try and get someone that potentially pairs up with our next driver pretty nicely as well. Then, of course, basically now all focus is going to be on, you know, pretty much next year's car. You know, we're having to start putting some old parts on the cars, things like that. I think we can try and manufacture a couple of bits, but yeah, we've still got next to no money at the moment as well, which is making things increasingly difficult. So yeah, F1 Manager 24 is proving itself to be rather brutal. We have got, I believe, one of the second underfloor as well that we can try and put onto Yuki's car. So we're kind of going to get a step forward and a step back all at the same time right now. And actually, I tell you what, Liam Lawson as well has actually got the new chassis. So we're basically going to try and give Yuki the best car we possibly can late on in the year there. And obviously, yeah, Liam Lawson is going to have to suffer with kind of parts found in the bin, which is, you know, not ideal, but it's still obviously our only point scorer of the year. Then, you know, we've got to be able to do that as well. There is obviously, yeah, those new underfloor parts coming in. Anything else we need to do with the car? I think, yeah, the ERS on Liam's car as well. Not looking particularly good. In fact, neither of them are looking particularly good on Liam Lawson's side of the garage at the moment. So we're going to have to try and fit the other damaged component as well. But yeah, things, you know, we're running out of parts at the moment. I think the end of Season 1 is going to be quite the slog for us. And it is going to be interesting to kind of see how well we survive, if you will. I'm hoping it's not going to be kind of that bad in terms of just trying to survive as best as possible. But I am intrigued to see what the new rule changes as well that they are going to try and propose. So there we go. We get some sponsorship. We get a little bit of money. We do get a little bit of cash back in the pot as well, which I think at the moment we're just going to try and save in case, obviously, yeah, we get more part failures and things like that as well in the not too distant future. As we'll try then and obviously do a few more bits and pieces as well, just obviously make sure that we achieve everything we need to. And we want to try and make sure that we've got enough money as well in the pot. So I think if we go with you, and then we'll go with you as well. So that will just tip us over kind of the activities that we need to do. Hopefully it's going to bring in some money as well within the team. I think we might actually try and do a couple of extra bits though as well. They just try and bring in more and more funds into the organisation. Is there anything... there's going to be nothing else that kind of brings us any more money to the team either. So yeah, we'll go with that then for now. And like I said, we'll earn a little bit of money as well for doing that. You know, we're basically just trying to get as much cash in as we possibly can before the end of the season. So let's go take a look then. So in Formula 1, regulation changes help us continually improve the sport for the benefit of competitors and fans alike. Taking into consideration, we are proposing new financial regulations for the 2025 F1 season. As a way of better rewarding excellence on the grid, we propose increasing the prize money allocation for higher performing teams. This should up the stakes for each season and encourage more thrilling competition. So for us, this is not beneficial. And honestly, I hope other teams see this as well, because only the, you know, more than half the teams here are going to lose out. So unless you're basically, I guess technically in the game, Ferrari, McLaren, Red Bull, or Aston Martin, this doesn't make sense to vote for. So we are going to vote against the proposed regulations there. Effectively, it's trying to make the big teams more powerful again in the sport. So hopefully, yeah, we'll get feedback on that in the not too distant future. I wanted to let you know that some of the board members have shown interest in attending the upcoming Azerbaijan Grand Prix. I believe their presence at the race weekend could help facilitate communication and fortify connections between the team and the board. Plus, depending on how things go and what impressions they take away, it could influence their confidence in your leadership as well. So I think, yeah, we're going to approve that. We're going to try and set our targets quite low for the weekend as well, just to make sure that we achieve all of our goals. Of course, we got no bonus prize money last time out as well from last weekend. So I think we'll set 18th place with Yuki. We'll say 19th place with Liam Lawson. Baku can be quite chaotic, so hopefully we'll get those targets.
Greetings from Azerbaijan, where we're back in the country's capital. The spectacular Baku city circuit will take drivers right through the city streets, from the narrow roads of the old town to the wide highway alongside the Caspian Sea, where cars will be fighting wheel to wheel this weekend.
Red Bull have outscored their rivals to be at the top of the constructors' table right now. And as we progress with round 17, we're well past the halfway point of the season.
Let's get this underway.
Well, here we are then down on the, well, effectively the garage, aren't we? Ready for the start of free practice. It looks like once again we are meant to get a nice dry weekend, which I think sadly for us obviously does sometimes prevent the ability to, you know, capitalise on opportunities as well. There, sometimes it's worked, sometimes it hasn't for us in this game, and, you know, I do quite like that as well. That in, you know, inside F1 Manager, it's not quite as clear cut as on F1 24, where sometimes you know that, you know, you can just kind of basically take advantage of some of the AI at certain venues on the calendar as well. So in terms of setup though, obviously we'll try a couple of different things there. 15 laps should be enough for either driver to get a good idea on each run as well there. So we'll send them both out as soon as possible, and hopefully, yeah, we'll be able to get a couple of runs in and obviously get those setups on both cars quite fixed up. Of course, yeah, Baku dominated by that front straight. But it is still, you know, a circuit that you do need a bit of downforce for, you know, especially around the old town and things like that as well. You know, you have got to be careful around this circuit. You know, as we saw at the weekend, you know, not necessarily does the fastest car on Saturday end up taking the victory. Of course, Charles Leclerc, incredibly quick. 4 pole positions in a row in Baku. Still has yet to take the win at that venue, which I think is quite an impressive record, actually, when all is said and done. You know, to be so reliably fast on a Saturday and still not be able to get the job done on Sunday is the most Charles Leclerc thing in the world at the end of the day there. But yeah, like I said, I think, you know, the end of the season is going to be a big struggle now. I think, you know, the big thing for us is going to be making sure that, you know, Haas and Williams, they don't get any more points on the board either. I think unless we get a crazy race somewhere, which Baku could be that race, trying to beat out VCAR by the end of the year is going to be pretty difficult as well. You know, we are basically just relying on a miracle or something like that. As yeah, you can see Yuki, his gearbox on that car is very, very worn out, but that is his practice gearbox, so we don't need to worry too much about that. And yeah, we can see major gearbox where, you know, we're basically just going to shred that gearbox up over the course of this weekend, and then we're probably going to have to use another one throughout the final few rounds, of course. After the next couple of races, we've obviously got sprint season re-beginning as well towards the end of this first campaign. So that is going to be interesting to kind of see as to how we get on there. And what's good, first of all, then, is that, yeah, Liam Lawson pretty happy with the direction we've taken the car. We'll obviously just make a few tweaks and changes and hopefully be able to bring him to where he will be fully content with the vehicle he's got underneath him there. As if we go like that, and we go like that, and if we just go like that a little bit more, hopefully, yeah, Liam is going to be happy with all of those tweaks. And then Yuki as well, will bring him in, as he is not so happy with the car on the other side of the garage. So, yeah, you can't quite fine-tune everything perfectly immediately. But again, you know, we kind of, you know, I always say, you know, I never expect to be, you know, kind of fully content with the cars early on. But we'll go like that. Both of them seem to be quite happy with the straight line speed as well. And obviously, you know, if we can make overtakes around this venue, then that is going to be good news. But I'm expecting, yeah, the pace to be very, very spread out as the weekend goes on. I'm expecting us to probably end up a couple of laps down there, as well as Pato Award back in the McLaren car. Good to see him, of course, confirmed will be taking part in FP1 IRL when Formula 1 is in Mexico in about 6 or 7 weeks' time as well. It does feel odd, talking of IRL Formula 1, the fact, obviously, we've got you know, one more week race weekend coming up, and then we've got another month off before things get very, very intense towards the end of the season as well. Will that give Red Bull time between now and the end of the year to kind of fix that car and make sure that Verstappen is comfortably out in front to the end of the year? Only time will tell. Have McLaren and Lando Norris kind of tripped themselves over too many times before the end of the year? It's anybody's guess. I still personally think, you know, Verstappen is going to just hold on for that World Championship between now and the end of the year. And yeah, McLaren, you know, I think McLaren are going to win the Constructors. But I think, yeah, Verstappen's just got a big enough buffer that it's not going to make a difference between now and the end of the campaign there. But, you know, we're kind of, you know, we're more worried about what we're doing inside this series as well there. And Liam Lawson pretty much back up to full confidence as well. And able to gather up some more feedback in the car as well. So hopefully we're going to be able to bring him back in pretty soon. And yeah, we'll get those final little bits out from him, which we will. So yeah, Lawson will bring you back in. And he again seems pretty happy with the direction we've taken the car there. And Yuki as well, happy with everything. So yeah, we're going to bring both of them back in one go. And you can see, yeah, only can make now some minor tweaks with Yuki's car. So we'll do that. And Lawson on the other side of the garage. Pretty bang on. 97% there with Liam Lawson. So we won't make any changes to that car. We'll send it back out just to get a little bit more feedback. We'll get Yuki back out there as well. And I think I'll see you guys in qualifying.
Qualifying is coming up, and the drivers will be ready and raring to go.
Drivers will have to be at the top of their game here in Baku, as mistakes can prove costly on a street circuit like this. But having tackled the twisting turns, the long main straight awaits, providing a fantastic opportunity for the slipstream.
In terms of Lance Stroll, how do you think he's doing, Karun?
The main thing on my mind was their speed in practice. They just weren't that fast. But was that down to the driver, the car, the team experimenting? We don't know, and we'll just have to see how they fare in qualifying.
Hold on tight, because we're getting underway.
Well, here we are then, ready for qualifying in Baku. And you can see, yes, Tsunoda, we've almost perfected the setup as well. With the second car, just need to try and make a couple of little tweaks and changes as well there. If we give him a little bit more front wing, then hopefully we just go like that. Then we can try and bring him into the right parameters. That should be pretty good as well there. Obviously, he does like a car with a little bit more, kind of a little less, sorry, straight line speed than Liam Lawson likes as well there. But it is so difficult to try and kind of fine-tune everything to be absolutely perfect as well there. So I don't, you know, kind of want to alter too much of it around too much. I'll just try and make sure, yeah, that he's happy with the car that he's got underneath him as well there. So hopefully that's going to be enough. And yeah, we can get both cars out into qualifying. Honestly, I'm not expecting that we see, you know, both cars into Q2 or anything like that. How are the parts looking? His gearbox is completely destroyed. So we're going to put, yeah, the fourth gearbox into that car. And then Liam Lawson, oh, the engine is looking pretty worn out. We have got a fresh one of those. So I guess we can do that as well before Parc Fermé closes. So yeah, Yuki is going to have a completely good car. And Liam as well, though, like I said, yeah, that ERS is not looking great. But I don't really want to spend the money on it right now. So yeah, I'm hoping we get Yuki out to Q2. Liam Lawson, though, no real guarantee. I mean, with either of them, to be honest, it will kind of depend on what the pace is like. Maybe we'll try and get them both out in some clear air, and obviously we'll try and potentially drag Liam along behind Yuki Tsunoda on the first run, kind of then see how close they are to each other, and then go from there as well. So yeah, we'll bring them both out in pretty tight kind of formation, if you will. Hopefully we won't have to deal with too much lap traffic either, and immediately as soon as I say that, I think we're getting a few other cars out of the pit lane as well then. So hopefully, you know, they do seem to be getting better in this game. I think they have tweaked and changed it a little bit, you know. It's just something that seems to happen still what feels like too much inside this game. And of course, as soon as I say that, yeah, that V-carb there immediately parks it on the exit of the corner. And we'll then try and jump out of the way for both cars as well. So these first runs aren't going to be perfect. But hopefully, yeah, we will get every car out of the way that we need to. McLaren there just sat off the line. And I think, yeah, every other car in front of us then on this lap is still looking fairly competent as well. And I believe they are on runs 36.8 through Sector 1, 37.5 for Liam, though. As yeah, he definitely got held up more in that first sector, but I don't think either of them had a particularly good run. I think if we can just get both cars safely through, that would be quite nice. You know, not necessarily. You know, I don't think, you know, this is going to be a weekend where the car is particularly racy. You know, we tend to do a bit better on the higher downforce circuits, which we don't ultimately have many more left this campaign. Maybe Mexico could be a good weekend for us as well. But yeah, Yuki up towards the line. He is going to do a time, you can see pretty much evenly between Magnussen and Zhou Guanyu there. So certainly not promising. 1.5 seconds off Daniel Ricciardo. But that being said, VCARB do look very fast. Oh, Logan Sargent's binned it. We might have a red flag then, out straight in Q1. As Logan Sargent making his way down the hill. Surprised we haven't seen Colapinto being put in that car yet in this game. But off into the wall. Not happy with himself there. And Logan Sargent, he knows the pressure is on. I think he's going to be able to get that car back, though, to the pit lane. Which I guess is good news for everybody else. Has ruined anybody that was on a run. But as we are about to send both of our cars back out there, that might present us with a bit of an opportunity as well then, as Lawson just trying to make sure he stays in front of Nico Hulkenberg. And yeah, Yuki Tsunoda then out onto his final run as well. We need a good 0.8 of a second though, so we're really going to have to try and hope that things run nicely for us as one of those Saubers does jump out the way. Zhou Guanyu's actually done a very good effort so far in that car. But yeah, when you look at those V-carbs though, battling it out, you know, they're ahead of both Aston Martins and George Russell right now. So they are looking quick. 7/10 improvement, though, by Yuki through Sector 1. I guess that is good news then that, yeah, there was definitely a lot more time to find in both of the cars as well. How's Lawson going to get on through that first sector as well? I'm just trying to monitor the gaps with both of them. 36.6, so, yeah, both of them looking to find a lot of time as well. You know, it would be nice if we got them out of Q1 here. I think Yuki definitely should. He's got clear running right the way back round. Liam, it does kind of depend on where that Sauber falls as well, whether it ends up in the way. But yeah, on our last-ditch run though, Sargent might have screwed himself over here. Gasly, I believe, is still out on a run as well, so it's no guarantee, even with a big improvement, that we do safely get ourselves through. As Lawson coming to the end of that second sector, he's aiming for 41.4. Is the time his teammate is set. How close to that is he going to get? He's going to be probably a little way away. Yeah, he's going to be way off. 42.0. So Yuki Tsunoda should safely make it through, I reckon, with the improvements we're seeing from the #1 driver. Hopefully he's going to put himself up kind of around Russell and Ocon's time, which, oh, he just makes it in. So yeah, no chance for Liam Lawson, I don't think, as he makes his way up towards the line. But are we going to see, you know, the likes of Gasly improve as well there? It might still mean any kind of time we find is not going to gain us much. He does get a nice slipstream from the Sauber. So Lawson will stay, though, down in last place. 1.2 seconds off his teammate. Pierre Gasly isn't on a run. Kevin Magnussen isn't on a run either, though. So luckily, yeah, Yuki will just squeeze by, but only by the skin of his teeth. Well, I'm not really expecting Yuki to be able to do a whole lot more than end up P16 on the grid. I think we can be happy that he made it into Q2, but I don't think we're going to see any kind of step forward away from that, to be honest. So we're just going to send him out. I want to try and keep a couple of sets of soft compound tyres nice and fresh, ready for the Grand Prix in case it does get quite chaotic. I remember this race here on Inside F1 23 often deliver quite a lot of drama. It's very, very easy for the AI to make mistakes as well in the limited time that I played that game on last year's title as well there. But yeah, Yuki, like I said, though, you know, we're happy that we made Q2, but I'm not expecting us to go much higher than anything higher than 16th. I think is going to be a bonus here. Lawson, yeah, he will be starting the Grand Prix from the back of the field, so I'm tempted to actually put some old parts in that car as well. You know, he's going to be starting at the back anyway. We saw quite a few drivers taking a lot of penalties IRL over the weekend, so I think it's, you know, a fairly common track to go for it. But yeah, with Lawson, it's actually about wasting old parts as well, rather than trying to burn through new ones before the end of the year, because yeah, money is tight at the moment. We haven't got a huge amount of confidence from the board as well. But yeah, with Yuki into Q2, hopefully they're going to, you know, a little bit of excitement might mean they want to drop a little bit more money into the team as well. There's that at the final corner up towards the line. We go P6. How on earth has Yuki Tsunoda done that? A nice big improvement there. And maybe it is going to be worth sending him back out again, because clearly now he's decided he's going to bring some more pace. Well, I'll be honest, I was not expecting this from Yuki Tsunoda then. Whether we've just seen quite a few other drivers struggling, whether just getting more laps on the board, he's kind of got his eye in and figured something else out with the car, I don't really know. But Tsunoda right now is currently provisioning into Q3 then. So is Nico Hülkenberg in the Haas car. So yeah, clearly that fresh engine providing him with the horsepower he needs. That might make the difference here. VCarb as well, down in 11th with Daniel Ricciardo. As you can just see, Alonso will go quicker than Hülkenberg as well. Just bumps us down into that drop zone. I believe Hülkenberg is about 3/10 up at the moment, so we would need a bit of an improvement still. But as he makes his way through Sector 1, a 35.7, he's down on his first run, but he's not a million miles away here. And hopefully, yeah, fresh set of tyres this time round will last a bit longer around the lap. And Yuki Tsunoda might be able to pull up so much of an upset here that even I wasn't expecting it inside this game as we ride on board up through the castle section. Very, very tight, difficult to navigate here. And you can just see, yeah, Ricciardo maybe a little bit out of position. Lance Stroll definitely out of position. There's both Mercs there looking safely through and into Q3. But we are seeing everybody else coming back out to do one final run as well here. Are we going to be up in Sector 2? Or has this just been a complete waste of time right towards the end? 41.2 is a small improvement here. Is it going to be enough, though? Is he going to be able to carry the speed right the way back round to the start-finish line here? We're just going to make sure that, yeah, that he is on full push mode and everything like that, as he certainly is up towards the start-finish line here. Yuki Tsunoda, is this going to be the upset of the season? Are we going to be able to try and get ourselves into Q3 and relegate Nico Hülkenberg down the order? We don't want to see Haas scoring points anyway. But yeah, Yuki Tsunoda then, oh, he does not improve enough. He does get closer to Hülkenberg, so I might tell him to cancel that call in, leave him pushing on this second run, and just see whether we're going to be able to find anything more there. Obviously, we're going to have those benchmarks as well that we're going to be able to go up against, and obviously I'm not really worried about whether we run out of fuel or not at the end of this lap. The tyres are starting to overheat just a little bit, but we're keeping them in a fairly decent temperature range as well then. So 35.7 through Sector 1. I do occasionally try and do the double runs inside this game, just see if we can benefit whatsoever. 35.9 though, again, a couple of more tenths down, so things do look to just be moving away from him slightly. Stroll though, out. Alonso will find even more time there, go P7. Miata down in P15, so he's not going to be seeing Q3. Are we going to see Ricciardo improve though at all as he makes his way out in the final couple of corners? I guess the other one is going to be Alex Albon, who of course we saw him make Q3 in the IRL Grand Prix weekend as well. But yeah, this lap time, though, is just not evolving, I think, the way we would have wanted it with Yuki Tsunoda. So we might just end up baiting him out and bringing him back to the pit lane anyway there. We'll have a look at the end of Sector 2, what that split is looking like, as Ricciardo does elevate himself up then into that top 10 there. Big improvement by the Australian to go comfortably ahead of both Merc cars there. We are slightly up with Yuki again. We'll use up all the battery as he makes his way out of the final corner, but I don't think we're going to see any more time found there for the number one driver. Yeah, I mean, he was 2 tenths down in Sector 1, half a tenth up in Sector 2. I don't think he's going to be able to have done anything out of that final corner. Up over the line, he stays P12. That's a good effort, though, and we'll head into the race.
Well then, it's not long until we get started here, and we should be in for a tightly contested race.
Baku has been the scene for some major on-track battles, like Vettel and Hamilton fighting for the lead back in 2017. Will we see more drama this year, I wonder?
Baku City Circuits challenges drivers like few other tracks. The tight section through the old city demands precision. The main straight, pure aggressive acceleration. And every corner is a challenge for tyres. The time has almost come for our drivers to fight it out wheel to wheel. Race day has arrived.
Well, here we are then, ready on the grid for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. And I tell you what, looking at the strategy, teams certainly want to do some interesting things as well with it. I'm going to put, though, old components into the back of Liam Lawson's car. I want him... actually, we won't go with a completely damaged part. We'll try and give him some kind of a shot here as well. But yeah, I'm going to try and put some worn-out parts there because I just don't think this weekend he's going to be able to do a whole lot. Gearbox as well. We will go with the one at 28%. Not great, but yeah, I just want to make sure that he's got a better car as well, as and when we can use it, and maybe he can be a little bit more competitive. I'm also going to basically try and do a one-stop strategy with him. Medium over to hard. He can just basically stay out there, see what happens. If we get a safety car, we get a safety car. Yuki, though, on the other hand, we are going to try and go a bit more aggressive with him. I'm also going to make sure I take out quite a few laps worth of fuel from that car, because, yeah, I don't think, you know, we're certainly not going to finish on the lead lap here unless we get some very well-timed safety cars as well then. But I think we're ready with both drivers. Let's do this thing. It's time for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
Final checks are being carried out by the teams, and it won't be long until we get this race underway. And with his helmet on, that trademark smile is gone. But now's the time to focus.
Just sitting inside the points places, they need to defend well and look to push hard where possible.
This should certainly be a good one, folks. Here we go, with the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. It's lights out, and away we go.
Well, there we go, fairly clean, tidy start at the front of the field. But yeah, this one is going to be all about just trying to make sure that you see the checkered flag there. There's going to be plenty of incidents and things like that, at least I hope, inside this game. And yeah, only time will tell. See how we get on this afternoon. As immediately you can see Yuki trying to make moves on Nico Hulkenberg off the start. It would be ideal if we can try and get ahead of the Haas car there and maybe put ourselves up into the points as early as we possibly can. So we're going to try and go aggressive with him and see what we can do there. As 3 wide. How on earth has Ocon gone around the outside of the pair of us there, down in towards the next couple of turns? I don't want to see, you know, kind of the Mercedes at the front pulling away a little bit more. There is even now that Stroll trying to have a look down the inside as well in towards Sector 2. Want to try and make sure that we stay ahead of the Aston Martin man, because he could be the difference between us and points there as well. We're just going to get squeezed out. And just like in real life, Yuki and Lance, well, this time around they didn't quite come to blows, but it was certainly looking pretty close. So I can see Liam Lawson a bit further back, side by side with one of the other back marker cars there. I think that might have been Miata, who ran into issues earlier on. The Williams side by side up through the castle section. Somehow they've survived that one then. But yeah, neither of our cars then getting off to a particularly good getaway. Miata will make the move as well, as Russell and Hulkenberg try to hang on to Daniel Ricciardo's coattails. But yeah, we're just dropping away, I mean, instantly from Lance Stroll here as well. So it is going to be interesting to kind of see what pace we've got in the car. I think qualifying kind of surprised us a bit that we were able to do as well as we did. But I'm not expecting that kind of same race pace to be there. As you can see, Zhou Guanyu already with a mechanical fault. What's happened to the Sauber? I think they're basically doing the same thing as we are at the moment. Okay, it's lap 1, sir. You're not going to be able to... Well, you shouldn't want to maintain a complete charge there, as you can already see as well. Have to try and go defensive on those Williams cars early on. So where I think, you know, this circuit might end up being quite abrasive. So yeah, Yuki already just dropping back a couple of spots then early on. You can see instantly, yeah, the points runners are getting away from us here. This is the difficult thing we've got right now inside this series of... We're kind of getting to the point, unless we're at a really good track for ourselves, not really a lot we can do, apart from pray for some chaos for other drivers around us. So I think we've just kind of got to sit in, maybe battle it out, try and stay in the coattails of Alex Albon, as someone else has gone. Who on earth is that? Hamilton going for a spin down at turn 16. He's done it in our Ferrari career, but I remember on F1 Manager 23, at the exact same corner. Yeah, Hamilton, he had a pretty bad weekend IRL in Baku, but yeah, this one not looking any better there, and annoyingly, that's going to promote Ricciardo up into P8, only temporarily, as 3 wide, back down in towards turn 1. Are we going to see Hulkenberg make the move? And yep, P8 momentarily, P10 now, and to be honest for us, we need to see Hulkenberg not do well here. I'd rather see Ricciardo score than Hulkenberg, because of course we're trying to defend that P7 in the championship. So hopefully, yeah, Ricciardo is going to be able to relegate him and Lance Stroll as well. They're down and out of the points. And for us, yeah, like I said, it's going to be a race of just kind of seeing what we can do. Hopefully we can try and get the objectives with both cars as well and bring home a little bit of extra cash as well there. As you can see, Lawson already, yeah, is going to drop back to the rear of the field, battling with the former Mercedes duo of Hamilton and Bottas as well. But of course, yeah, Hamilton will be moving to Ferrari next season, I believe, in the game. And obviously, yeah, we're going to see a load of other movement as well up and down the roster. Verstappen at the front of the order, though, just seems to be breaking free a little bit early on. Charles Leclerc trying to hang close to those cars. And yes, Albon trying to just drag Yuki as well a little bit early on in this Grand Prix. Hulkenberg now is all the way up into 8th place then. So we are going to have to keep a watchful eye on everything that's going on there. But I think, yeah, Yuki's in a pretty good spot right now. Just kind of tucked in behind Albon there. Maybe battling with him a little bit more than I'd like to see. But hopefully he's going to be able to hang close to, you know, Hulkenberg, Russell, and Ricciardo as well, battling down at the rear of the points there. And, you know, like I said, if we could get a point, that would be fantastic, especially, you know, when we've got the board here this weekend, you know, to try and get a point for them to showcase that their investment is still worth it towards the end of the year is going to be critical there, as Oscar Piastri now, the real-life Grand Prix winner, starting to report some mechanical issues, as Hulkenberg already into the pit lane there. So that's quite an early stop by Hulkenberg there. I think, he's going to go onto the mediums then. So I think he is trying to two-stop this, as Sainz as well reporting mechanical issues. Could a one-stop be worth it here? Try and bring Yuki in kind of just past lap 20, going on to a set of mediums, and then trying to get them to the end of the afternoon. That could be an interesting one, because, yeah, where this circuit is dominated by straight lines, as we've got a safety car, and what on earth has happened? I think we'll have to try and bring Liam in onto the hards right now. What on earth has gone on? Don't know who's got involved. It's Gasly who's gone off down at turn 1. So what has he done? He seems to be by himself. Is in towards that first corner. Just drops it into the wall. I think you tried to go full throttle through turn 1, sir, is what happened there. Yeah, Pierre Gasly then with a high-profile shunt early on in this race. My mouse has stopped working. Why is my mouse not working? There we go. We're back again. So yeah, obviously we can conserve fuel. We can conserve everything like that. And obviously we'll do the same with Yuki Tsunoda as well then. But yeah, we've got no other choice but to dive him into the pit lane as well. So I think we'll have to try the mediums with Yuki. I want to kind of split the strategies a little bit. But yeah, that works out fantastically then, as Verstappen with a pit stop issue. That might slow up Sergio Perez as well in the second of the Red Bulls. I think, yeah, Verstappen should be pretty safe still at the front of the order. He's gone hards, so he might be trying to go to the end of the afternoon. I think, yeah, we're gonna play chicken then, follow what everybody else is doing, bring Yuki into the pit lane onto that set of the hard compound tyre, as well as I think everybody, yeah, we've got some split strategy then. So not everybody wants to try and go to the end of the afternoon. I think a lot of cars are expecting there to be another safety car at some point. Could we just hold up a couple of cars there? Ricciardo comfortably out a little way in front. Hopefully we'll get a nice, clean, tiny pit stop. They're not putting him on hards. What are they doing? Tsunoda, he's going to come back out. Hey? What's happened? What's happened to him? Tsunoda's going to come... What on earth was that? He just stopped on the exit of the pit box there, so not too sure what to make of that one. But yeah, Lawson then, 2.4 second stop's actually pretty good going by the second car as well there. So yeah, we're back out then. We are trying to obviously save some fuel as well. Save obviously the tyres with both drivers and make sure obviously, yeah, we've got a full battery as well by the time that safety car does come in. But yeah, Tsunoda then just still outside the points. Looks like pretty much everyone, unless your name's Verstappen or Lawson, is planning on boxing again before the end of the afternoon. So that is going to be interesting to see how everybody kind of fares, as safety car is going to be coming back in then at the end of this lap. I got no idea why even, you know, kind of tucked in, everybody's tyres are still overheating and things like that. But yeah, Lawson now could be a bit of a secret weapon towards the end of the afternoon. He isn't, well, hopefully he's not going to pit again here. And we can just try and get to the end of the Grand Prix. It's only 30 laps to the end. But yeah, when is Verstappen going to go? Still holding off for now. He's got Perez obviously behind him who can act as a bit of a rear gunner. But yeah, what's worrying me is the fact both those V-carbs now right on the precipice of points there, is now Russell as well reporting mechanical issues. So yeah, as things start getting underway once more, it is going to be green flag racing here in Baku. But how bad is the wear going to be for other drivers here, as Hulkenberg has come out right behind Yuki with all of that? We got more kind of tyre squeal and things, but I don't think anybody has gone off the road. Someone just had a bit of a lock-up. That was Alex Albon down at the first corner, so he's taken a chunk out of his tyres off of this restart. And I tell you one driver that did work out well for is actually going to be Lewis Hamilton, because of course he gets bunched up the rest of the field, which might present him with opportunity to try and make his way back through. I think again though for us it's just going to be about trying to stay in the DRS of some of the cars in front there, maybe get dragged along just a little bit. But yeah, Russell is really struggling at this stage of the day, so we're going to have to try and use some battery and get around him in the not too distant future. Otherwise Hulkenberg, yeah, Albon as well are both going to be tucked up behind him for a bit too long in this Grand Prix, and that's not what we want to see at this stage of the afternoon. Obviously we've got some rich drivers as well that we can afford to burn through before the end of the afternoon, and we are just going to have to be careful with Liam Lawson as well in that second car to make sure that obviously he's, you know, if we do have to go to the end of the race on, you know, on the lead lap and everything, where that safety car came out at a pretty awkward time. But yeah, up into P13 then, getting the jump on Alex Albon. So hopefully we're going to be able to get past Hulkenberg there somehow, and maybe even Russell as well as we make our way at the final couple of corners. Tsunoda might be able to bring himself just outside the points once again. Going to try and go left, go right on George Russell here. Maybe now he's going to be able to make the move back down in towards turn 1 when we open up the DRS. Hopefully he's going to have the extra speed over the Mercedes there and just try to inch his way past him. And there we go, up into P11 we move. And hopefully we'll use a bit more battery on this lap, build up a little bit of a buffer. And you can see, yeah, Miata and Ricciardo, they're going to be the ones that we are going to try and beat here still. As you can still see, there's battles going on up at the front. So I think Carlos Sainz might struggle a bit towards the end of the afternoon. I think we might just now, we might leave him just pushing on for one more lap in that car, just to make sure we've got the gap that we need over those other cars. And yeah, there we go. Battery completely drained now. So yeah, Tsunoda, we're going to use up more of that fuel, but just try and see if we can keep that gap opened up ahead of those Mercedes there, as Russell does seem to be trying to get the bit between his teeth once more. But yeah, for us though, it is more about, you know, VCAR potentially giving us a headache throughout the rest of the afternoon as well, and what we do with the tyres, because yeah, they might struggle towards the end of the GP. Looks like we're taking a bit of time though out of Oscar Piastri still, which I guess would be good if we can elevate ourselves inside that top 10 pretty quickly, you know, and try and just make sure we're comfortable ahead of him. And then yeah, it's a real toss-up about tyre life towards the end of this one. I think we will have to make the switch back to softs with about 10 or 12 laps to go. But it might not be as kind of clear-cut as we thought it would there. As yeah, the top runners, you know, they're going to pit, but they're going to be comfortably out front there, as we will make the move now on Oscar Piastri as well then, down the inside of turn 2. Stout defense IRL, not quite as much inside this game. So, yeah, Oscar Piastri then dropping back down into P11 of this Grand Prix. And we are up into the points then, as Magnussen is out. I think that's just been a mechanical issue for him. So again, just kind of relying on other drivers to have issues there. We'll hopefully see Liam Lawson get his target. Is Hulkenberg now as well. That was another high-profile name potentially running into issues. What has he done? Same as Lewis Hamilton. So yeah, very frustrating, I'm sure, for Hulkenberg then. He was looking like he could be in the fight. And now, as you can see, other cars into the pit lane here. We're going to stay out just a little bit longer, as Miata in and out onto a set. What tyres is Miata on? He is on softs. So that's a long way still to go to the end of the Grand Prix. Should be able to do it. But I think, yeah, we're better off just trying to hang out here a little bit more. Wait and see if we get a safety car or something like that before we make the call. But anything sort of past about lap 40, then we will opt to dive into the pit lane here. We're running up in P8 right now. Yeah, Ricciardo is still kind of stealing the limelight there for some of the backmarker teams. All the way up a bit further up. And you can see Miata, yeah, as well. He's going to get the jump on us here. So we're just trying to kind of sit in where we're at the moment. Make sure that we're still in a good spot. And like I said, if we do get an issue for someone else, then maybe we can try and capitalize there. Because VCARB... Oh, red flag! Perfect! Perfect for us there. That's exactly what we were hoping for. What on earth has happened? Who is out of this Grand Prix? Oh, it's Yuki. What's he done? Oh, Yuki. I mean, he gets the car running again. So that's not as perfect as we'd hoped for. And you can see, yeah, we got a 20-minute restart then. No, he's out! Tsunoda's out of the Grand Prix. Oh, damn it. That's really bad. So obviously, yeah, Lawson's strategy was kind of a bit screwed anyway. Oh, no. So, I guess we're going to, yeah, bring Lawson obviously back out. And I thought it was someone else that was out of the Grand Prix there. But, yeah, I mean, how is Tsunoda still 9th? Can I see him down the pit lane? I think he is there. But, yeah, with a completely wrecked car. Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. I don't really care what Ratomo Miata's doing at the moment, apart from hopefully not scoring too many points. But yeah, hopefully Liam Lawson then is going to be able to get the elbows at me. We may as well go full attack mode with him, mightn't we? Towards the end of the afternoon. But suddenly, our sole hope left in this Grand Prix is going to be Liam Lawson here. And I'll be honest, I'm not expecting him to be able to do a whole lot between now and the end of the afternoon. We might, well, hopefully we can beat out both Saubers there. As Oscar Piastri now at the Grand Prix as well. So it's turned into a real race of attrition towards the end of the afternoon. Could we see other cars with issues as well? I don't think so towards the end. As we've got yellows out, we've got another safety car. As Russell's in the wall, literally you can just see his rear wheel hanging out of it there. What on earth has happened to George Russell? As he's completely stacked it down at turn 9. This must be a huge one. If he's gone through the barrier here, you can see he just gets put in the wall, squeezed out. He's gone through the circuit. Russell has actually gone through the concrete wall there. So, well, I think, yeah, Mercedes need to be worried whether he's still alive, to be honest, based on that. But that's the second massive one we've had this year. I think it was Gasly went through the barrier at Suzuka and kind of got teleported to a third dimension as well there. So, I guess for Lawson, it gives him a chance to recharge up everything again. But yeah, Baku, as you would expect, has absolutely turned into a race of attrition. And I love the fact Tsunoda going into the wall brings out a red flag. Russell going through an a concrete barrier here. That's just a safety car. That's fine. We can keep going from there. So, yeah, really not too sure how that one all pans out. This might end up being one of Lawson's best results of the year, simply by just finishing when all is said and done. But he's certainly going to have a load of spare fuel as well. And could we see other drivers have to box before the end of the Grand Prix? I don't think we're going to, annoyingly. So, yeah, that's a bit frustrating towards the end of the afternoon. But, yeah, just a handful of laps to go then of this GP. Liam Lawson, hopefully, yeah, he's going to be able to get past a couple of people, as Hamilton now reporting mechanical issues as well. The safety car is going to be in at the end of this lap. So, yeah, we're going to go on the hunt once more then towards the end of this race. But ultimately, yeah, I'm not expecting Liam to really be able to do a whole lot here, as it is going to be green flag racing once again. Bottas is in and out of the Grand Prix. We got another yellow flag out with someone else reporting issues. Miata's gone. What on earth is happening? Could we see Lawson score points if we get enough chaos? Into the wall. He'll lose a bit of front wing there, so that'll probably have to be Miata into the pit lane. And Lawson, I don't want to say it's impossible yet. If we're going to keep seeing more cars running into issues before the end. I know our car is not looking particularly clean, but surely Miata is going to have to peel. No, he's not going to peel into the pit lane. So Ricciardo might still be one of the only backmarkers that's going to score decent points. Logan Sargent is up into the points in that Williams, so don't know what we make of that at this stage of the campaign. But yeah, Lawson as well, they're down in that P16. Is he going to be able to do anything before the end of the race? He can barely keep up with Zhou Guanyu in the Sauber car as well there. But yeah, with all of this going on towards the end of the afternoon, Leclerc suddenly has got an opportunity, and Lawson's out as well. Lawson is out of the Grand Prix as well, so a double retirement from this Grand Prix. We got a safety car that's going to come out. Lawson, luckily, I think, will get classified. So hopefully we'll pick up the prize money. That's a lovely view of the pit lane we've got there. Both cars out after the disappointment of Monza last weekend. Money's getting tight. Things are getting difficult. We took a gamble this weekend. Miata's going to have to pit himself out of the points there. So it looks like Sargent is going to get a couple of points on the board for Williams, and that's really bad news for us. Hamilton's out. Sargent's going to get 4 points, and that is going to screw us in the championship, because that means that Williams are going to jump us in the table, and we are in deep, deep trouble now. Oh, Baku has not been good for us. Baku has not been a good Grand Prix for the team. Disappointment in the end, but I cannot believe that.
Sometimes I think you just have to accept that it's not going to be your race.
That was a bitterly disappointing retirement. The team certainly wouldn't have wanted their race to end this way.
And no doubt, Verstappen fans will be celebrating the Dutchman's achievement.
The wins just keep coming and coming. We'll be running out of superlatives at this rate, Crofty.
And before they get back to work, I think it's time to cool off here in Azerbaijan. Well, Karun, how do you think they'll be feeling in the team garage at the end of that?
It's not been the greatest weekend. Both drivers need to step up and show what they can do, and the team have to be there to support them.
Well, everybody, that's all from us here in Baku.
Meet us next at the Marina Bay circuit for a breathtaking race through the streets of Singapore.
Well, there we go then. Max Verstappen takes the win yet again, but at least the margins were a bit finer this time round there. Logan Sargent, though, easily my driver of the day from 16th to 8th in the end. He avoided the carnage, he beat his teammate, and he's completely screwed us there. Alex Albon getting a point as well in the other Williams car. And with the sponsors and the team, the board at this weekend, I don't think that could have gone worse for us if we wanted it to. And I tell you what, the end of this first season is going to be such a slog there. Hulkenberg, I think he was the only driver other than Verstappen who finished exactly where he started. No, Lando Norris in the end ended up in P4 as well there. I'm hoping both drivers get classified in the positions they did finish, because hopefully, yeah, that is going to see us still get those, or not classified, but get the objectives still that we wanted, because yeah, otherwise the board, I think confidence is going to be shot through the floor there. Leclerc does take some points out of Verstappen, though. You can see Perez jumps Oscar Piastri with that good result there. Stroll continues to open up his advantage over Alonso. Ricciardo up to 22 points now. Sargent up 8 spots ahead of Tsunoda as Albon drops down into P14 as well. But yeah, Williams now 6 points to R3. We need something massive to happen before the end of the year there, and that is so gutting for us as Williams, yeah, leapfrog from 9th up to 7th place as well. And that means, yeah, the board are going to be really, really gutted and potentially start limiting funding as well there. We do get a couple of points for the fastest pit stops. 7th place there was our best one, but I think we might still drop down the order, which we will, down to 9th place though, but still somehow ahead of Williams in that championship fight. There are 2.4 second stop for Lawson. I think was one of the best we've done all season there. But yeah, that was, I'll be honest, absolutely terrible for us. But thank you all so much for watching nonetheless. Like I said now, I said it last week, I'm going to try and say it again this week. Hopefully we're going to get more F1 Manager content out on the channel. But yeah, we'll be back very soon with more F1 Manager content.